This is how I generated an extra 93 phone calls per month for a local waste management service. So this is an SEO case study. Now, what's really fun about this case study is it was done on a completely separate website other than the clients. So what I went ahead and did is I set up a completely different call tracking number. So all these numbers, I know for a fact they came from me. I have the call logs to prove it and so on. And there was no other marketing being done on this. So this is why I'm really excited about this one. So I know for sure. And as you know, call leads are some of the best leads, especially for a local service business. So that's why I'm even more excited about this. So this was done, these metrics here over the period of about 3 months. So here's some of the highlights, the summary basically. So total calls received was 281. Total sales qualified leads was 196. And the client is converting from sales qualified leads at about 33%. So that ended up being 65 new jobs. So about 21 per month roughly. And the average sale value was 600. I'll let you do the math on that. So, this is good, right? What would you do with an extra 21 bookings per month, basically? So now the strategies that I employed was mostly around content marketing. Now, when I refer to content marketing, I'm talking about bottom of funnel content. There's a big gap here, which I see a lot of people making a mistake with this, is that, they say, well, we need content marketing. They start at the top of funnel. They're doing all this questions, answering questions in the industry. We're going to do these guides and all this stuff. In my opinion, that is just absolute waste of time. Basically, why not start at the bottom of funnel, right? Where people are much more likely to convert. And the difference here is okay, maybe this top of funnel is going to basically juice up your traffic metrics, but at the end of the day, it's not going to pay your bills, right? So bottom of funnel is going to pay the bills, and we might as well start there. So a lot of these pages are actually converting at about 20%. So even if the keyword seems small, even a page that's getting just 10 clicks per month could end up leading to an extra 2 jobs per month, right? And that's just on one page. So content marketing for a local service business in this particular example was mapping out all the services that the client offered, and then all the service areas within there, and then just building a content strategy around that. Now, obviously, everything has to be optimized for SEO. There's a little bit more details in that. Obviously, results are going to vary depending on your market and all the rest of it. But that was the strategy that I did for this particular site, and as you can see, it was worth it. So just focusing on bottom of funnel content. Next from there, which a lot of people actually don't talk about with SEO, is conversion rate optimization. I think this is a bit of a cop-out for a lot of people. They don't want to take responsibility for actually converting the visitors once they come to your site. I think this is a problem. So in my opinion, if I'm doing marketing, which is what SEO is a form of marketing. If it doesn't lead to conversions or it doesn't lead to an increase in revenue, I consider it a failure. So for me, I'm extremely focused on this, right? So CRO, and full disclosure, I'm not a CRO expert. I'm not claiming to be an expert, but I do some of the basics. And these are, in my opinion, basics, which I've picked up, which a lot of people don't even cover, right? Which I think is another huge problem. And I do believe that this led to some of the success, right? So some of the things that I want to cover here is basically clear call to actions. It's unbelievable how many people don't do this. So clear CTAs. The goal is to have one main CTA per page. If you want people to call you, tell them that you want them to call you. Have it in the first fold. So basically the first screen, I'll just use FreshBooks. They're a good example here. The above the fold, very clear CTA here, right? That's the first thing you see, whether on desktop or mobile. So even if you inspect on mobile as well, it's going to be the same. So clear CTA above the fold, basically. So, and tell people what you want them to do. Call me. Don't give them too many options. Call me. That's it, right? So I also placed the phone number because that's the main CTA that we're promoting. We're basically promoting that all across the website. So I put the phone number in the title, I put it in the descriptions, I put it in the first paragraph, I put it in the conclusion. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with asking people to call your business. You're doing them a favor. If I'm looking for a service, I don't want to do all these extra steps. I don't want to submit a form. I don't want to do some AI chat. I want to talk to a real person. So, and if you're talking to a real person, if you have a person on the phone, the chance of you then converting them is going to be much higher, right? So in my opinion, you could probably even squeeze this with better sales to a higher close rate, basically. So that's that phone number, have it displayed everywhere, right? The other part here is CTA placement and design. So for the CTA design, I'll go back to FreshBooks as well. And this is easy to do on most WordPress websites. It could do a plugin. It can come with your theme. So have a sticky button. So no matter where I go, just make it easy for the person to just take the next step. And so for example, for FreshBooks, they're using try it free, but I did the same strategy, but just call now. So it's sticky. So no matter where you go on the website, it's super easy. The next point that I want to cover here is the design element, contrasting colors. So this also FreshBooks is doing a good job of this basically. So contrasting colors, you could just Google the color wheel here basically. But what you want to do is you want to have your main CTA the opposite color of whatever your theme is. So if your theme is blue color, then you want to have a bright yellow CTA or, bright yellow, green, but basically on the opposite end of it. Don't have your theme blend in too much. So don't have a blue theme with blue CTAs. And the key here is to have the CTA the same color and just keep CTAs for that color. That's the key element here. So as you can see, a good example of this is FreshBooks doing it in green, right? An opposite of blue, basically. And they don't have anything else other than the CTA, which is that color. So do those basic designs, and I'm sure your conversions are going to go up, right? It's just kind of just the efficiency as well. So the client was already paying for ads. He's already doing marketing on his own website. So this is an additional asset for him, basically. So he is paying $5 per click in Google AdWords. As you know, AdWords ad spend is always going up. So if you do the math on that as well, on 100 clicks, you're already spending $500. Well, so the key takeaways here in the conclusion is basically, if you're not getting more leads from your SEO, then your SEO is failing. My goal is always to increase conversions, basically, especially with working with a client, right? So that's my number one goal. So if you would like to work with me, basically shoot me a message in the chat. I'll be more than happy to look at your business.